This lesson talks about the reflect phase of the reach method. The purpose of the reflect phase is to reconnect to your intention in this conversation. And that has three aspects. This is your intention for yourself, your intention for them, and your intention for what the conversation is. So in your intention for yourself, you want to make sure you're doing something to calm yourself down, to relax, because you're going to make better choices in the conversation if you start out relaxing. So there's a worksheet in the links to this video that gives you some guidance about reflect strategies that have been important for people in the past. So anywhere from deep breaths to progressive body relaxation, there's a variety. Then you want to make sure you reconnect with your intention to them, especially being compassionate to them. And so some of the things in that worksheet are compassion boosters, where you imagine yourself looking at them crying, or celebrating something positive, or celebrating a positive moment you had. Then there's intention for the conversation, where you're reminding yourself that you're trying to do something very important for America and for your community, and that this conversation is a part of that. Now, the key thing that you're trying to do is to get rid of the tendency to be in a mode of, wake up, you idiot. Don't you realize how important this election is? Get with it. You're trying to get rid of the you dummy energy. Now, that doesn't mean that at some point in the conversation, there's not some jovial clowning or capping, as we call it in Detroit, where there's some making fun, but you probably want to save that till later in the conversation to build trust and build confidence. Now, remember, if you have known this person for more than 2 years, they probably were shaky voters then. So let's not let their shakiness about voting come between you. The last point is this. In this method, you have to have a paradoxical and detached relationship to the outcome. You're doing this because you want to influence their voting behavior, but if you're too thirsty and they sense that, they won't want to do it just because you want them to do it. We all have a part of us that are like, you ain't the boss of me. So you have to have the good balance between wanting them to change and wanting them to change in this conversation versus being somewhat detached and you're just having this conversation to get to know them and foster your relationship. You're trying to issue an invitation, not a demand. Lastly, you want to have a bailout strategy. So in case things go south, you can say, you can blame yourself or you can blame the setting. It's too cold in here. You can blame yourself. Like, I realize I'm hungry and I shouldn't have this conversation now. You want to have that clear in your head. So if things start to go sideways, you can end on a positive note, which you can pick up on later. If you like the content of this video, please press like or subscribe, because that helps the algorithm push it out to more people who might want to see it. Anything you do in support, whether it's a like or a subscribe or a share or even a small financial contribution to this self-funded project, is helpful in making sure we can continue this important work of spreading compassion for the sake of democracy.